Hi again, it's Talia. Yeah, so I know my first video may have been all over the place, and I'm sorry, that's kind of how it is for me. That's a normal day. So to kind of clarify some things and kind of talk about one of the topics that I did mention, the Diastasis Recti. So basically I have two kids. One is going to be 7, one just turned 1, and this is as of 2018, depending on when you catch this video. So basically, diastasis recti is an abdominal separation. So with my son, he was almost 10 pounds when he was born. So he was a big boy. So I did have a C-section, not necessarily scheduled, but it ended up becoming scheduled. And I had a funky recovery, so I don't know if any of that had to do with it. I also do think that I am just more prone genetically to have hernias and just a weak abdomen despite being a personal trainer. So I'm not really sure. I talked to my doctor about it. Not really sure. But either way, here we are. So I had a C-section with my son almost 7 years ago. And then I did have a scheduled C-section with my daughter because, of course, once you do it the first time, you have to do it a second time. So I did. But I definitely can say it was more like I had a basketball like hiding under my shirt. So I was more lower belly and not big all over the place, even though I still gained about 50 pounds somehow. But yeah, so basically what happened was that since I was so low with my daughter, it actually spread out my abdominal. So basically if I'm down here and it just kind of, I hate to say tore it open, but it opened it, we'll say. And so I had the C-section and went much better with recovery, minus a few couple of situations, won't get into that. But essentially what happened was that I do have a hernia now. So my organs, my intestines, they're all pushing out. So what does that mean? So see, from the side, I look like I'm still pregnant. I am wearing very high-waisted pants. I will lower them for the sake of this video. Don't judge me, but as you can see, this is what's going on. So now I have an outie. As you can see, I used to have a very deep innie, so I missed that now in retrospect. But right here, this is part of the hernia. And then I have the diastasis, which I did have a 4-finger separation. So basically, my abdominal spread this much, 4 fingers wide. I think I'm down to 3, courtesy of physical therapy, thankfully. But essentially, I cannot do planks. I cannot do sit-ups. I can't do a lot of abs because if your core is weak, then your back is going to have a problem. So I do have, I hate to say chronic, but I will say chronic low back pain. Most days now I'm better with it because after the recovery from the C-section, I can actually do things. But when I was in physical therapy for 3 months, I did have to do a ton of back exercise. So lat pulls, super wide, super narrow, bridges or hip presses, just anything to work the back side. Because again, if this is weak, which for me, my intestines and organs are pushed out, so I have essentially no core. And then that helps eliminate or at least lessen low back pain. So for any of you women that have anything that looks like this, be very careful what you're doing. Don't do a ton of abs, planks, anything that's called prone, meaning facing down. So planks, anything that's putting your body against gravity in that way, don't do it. For me, the only way to fix this is surgery because a hernia does not magically fix itself. So at some point, I will have to have that surgery, which is covered under insurance, but a diastasis is not. So that will be out of pocket, and more than likely that's along the lines of a tummy tuck. So I may go along that route in the future. It's, again, more recovery, costs out of pocket, it's money. So I'm only 35 as of today. We'll see what happens, but realistically, if I have that tummy tuck surgery, they can fix the hernia all at the same time, but then the diastasis is not covered, so it could be anywhere from here in Massachusetts, $5,000, all the way up to $10,000 or more, depending on where you live. So it is completely up to you if you decide to take that route, but either way, if you suffer anything like I do, the hernia is worth fixing, unless you can handle looking like this, which I can't as a personal trainer. Or if you don't have back pain, then maybe you can live with it. But in time, it can spread open, and hernias are covered because if you have a small hole, we'll say, and your intestines poke through here, that could actually rupture because it's too small of a hole. That's where there's a problem. So just talk to your doctor. Again, I'm not going to say have the surgery. I'm going to say talk to your physician, see what they say. If you have a hernia, just get it checked out. Personally, I can't live like this. I can't do this. My back usually hurts at least once a day, depending on what I'm doing. So even today, I'm working out at the gym, trying to alleviate some of my back pain. So I'm only 35. I can't do this for another 50, 70, whatever year. So I will fix it. But that's for me. You do what's best for you. If you have any other questions about diastasis, again, I'm not a complete expert. I just know what I'm going through, what I've researched, what my PT has said, what my doctors have said. So I know a little bit about this topic as I'm experiencing myself. I also do know exercises that can help that maybe in a later video I'll be able to do. All right, have a wonderful day. Have a good one. Bye.